Lahore in the late 1990s was a city of contradictions. It was alive with history, culture, poetry, and laughter. Yet beneath its crowded streets and colorful bazaars existed a shadow world that most citizens never saw. Millions passed through its roads every day: laborers, shopkeepers, students, beggars, and children who had no homes. Among them were hundreds of street children who survived on scraps, charity, and occasional work. They slept on footpaths, near railway stations, outside mosques, or in abandoned buildings. These children were invisible. It was in this environment that one of the most horrifying criminals in South Asian history operated quietly, methodically, without detection for months. His name was Javed Iqbal. Very little verified information exists about Javed Iqbal's childhood, and what is known comes mainly from his own statements after arrest. According to these accounts, he was born into poverty in Lahore. His upbringing was unstable, marked by neglect, anger, and emotional isolation. Javed claimed that as a child he was sexually abused by older men. Whether this was true or partially fabricated to justify later crimes remains debated. However, many criminologists agree that early trauma, whether real or perceived, can contribute to severe psychological distortion when combined with social neglect and lack of intervention. He grew up harboring deep resentment, not towards specific individuals, but toward society itself. In his mind, the world had failed him. He did not seek healing or justice. Instead, he began nurturing an idea of revenge. By adulthood, Javed Iqbal had developed a chilling philosophy. He believed that the system protected child abusers and ignored suffering children. Instead of reporting crimes or helping victims, he decided that he would become the executioner. But this was not justice. This was an excuse, rather than targeting abusers. He targeted vulnerable street boys' children with no guardians, no records, and no one to search for them when they disappeared. His victims were between 6 and 16 years old. Javed convinced himself that by killing these children, he was balancing the pain he once felt. In reality, he was repeating violence, magnifying it, hiding behind a self-created moral narrative. Lahore provided him with everything he needed: railway stations, shrines, bus terminals, markets, busy intersections. Street children gathered in these places, looking for food, work, or shelter. Javed appeared friendly. He dressed normally. He spoke gently. He offered food, money, movies, or jobs to a hungry child. Kindness is powerful, one by one. Children followed him. Javed Iqbal rented a house in Lahore that became the center of his crimes. From the outside, it looked ordinary. Inside, it was a place of horror. Once a child entered the house, escape became nearly impossible, according to his confession. Children were drugged, then strangled. Some were sexually assaulted, bodies were cut into pieces. Flesh was dissolved using acid, remains were flushed down. Drains. The purpose was simple: leave no evidence, no bodies, no graves, no missing reports, just silence. What shocked investigators later was not only the brutality, but the number. Javed Iqbal claimed to have murdered over 100 children. The number was horrifying because it matched his detailed records. Disappearances of street children were common. No immediate contradictions were found, however, due to the destruction of bodies. The exact number could never be fully verified, even if the true count were lower. The crime remains among the largest serial murder cases in Pakistan's history. Unlike many criminals, Javed Iqbal eventually wanted attention. In January 1999, Pakistani newspapers received a letter. Inside were chilling details of child murders, along with a confession and instructions. He demanded that authorities arrest him. He also requested a specific punishment. Police tracked him down using clues from the letters. When arrested, Javed did not resist. He was calm. Almost relieved, during interrogation, he gave graphic confessions. He led police to his rented house. Traces of acid, blood remnants, and tools were found. Although bodies were gone, evidence confirmed violent activity. Pakistan was stunned. Parents panicked. Media exploded. The nation demanded justice. Javed Iqbal's trial was swift due to overwhelming confession evidence. The public reaction was intense. People wanted the harshest punishment possible. The judge issued a symbolic sentence. He was to be strangled, his body was to be cut into 100 pieces. The remains were to be dissolved in acid. The punishment mirrored his crimes. However, under Pakistani law and international pressure, this sentence was later converted to death by hanging. Before execution could occur, Javed Iqbal died in prison in 2001. Authorities stated he committed suicide, though speculation remains. Experts classify him as psychopathic, narcissistic, highly manipulative key traits, lack of empathy, grandiose, self-image, rationalization of violence, desire for recognition. His claim of revenge does not align with his victim selection, which proves control and power, not justice, motivated him. This case exposed painful truths. Street children were not protected, disappearances were ignored, no central missing children system existed, poverty created perfect victims. Javed Iqbal did not operate in isolation. He operated in neglect. The case led to increased awareness of child protection, media focus on missing children, NGO involvement, calls for forensic reform. Yet even today, many children remain vulnerable. Javed Iqbal was not a monster born from darkness alone. He was a product of abuse, silence, social blindness, institutional failure, but none of these excuses crimes. Remembering this story is not about fear, it is about responsibility.